Help, IDK, where to put the dot. If you're learning about Lewis structures and you don't know where to put the dot, here's a tip for you. Bestie, look at the periodic table, bestie. Okay, the periodic table is your bestie for chemistry. Here's what I'm talking about. Okay, so here's the periodic table. Okay, this first column, all of these elements that live in the first column, we're gonna put one dot here. So column one, we're gonna put one dot. Next column is the second column. Guess what? How many dots you're gonna put? You're gonna put two dots. For example, hydrogen lives in the first column, so we're gonna write H and then put one dot. Second column, magnesium lives in the second column, so we're gonna take magnesium and then we're gonna do two dots. For the next 3 through 12 columns, we're not going to do any of that. You're going to say, why don't we do that? Because there's tons of exceptions, so we're not going to worry about the transition metals. And then we're going to go all the way to the one on the right here. So let me box this one on the right. So this is going to be our last column. We're going to start here. You're going to say, why are you starting here? Because I said so. And we have to have full valence here. So these all elements right here, these are all noble gases. So which noble gas is here? Helium lives here. For most of these, we're going to have 8, except let's start with helium. Helium is going to be our exception, which starts with only 2. You're going to say, I thought magnesium had 2. Well, helium also has 2 valence electrons. As a matter of fact, just for helium, this is a complete octet. So for helium, put 2. Okay. For the rest of these, you're going to put 8. Okay. So I'm going to put an 8 up on top to indicate that all of these rest ones, we're going to have 8. For example, neon has a complete octet. Octet comes from the word 8. And so we're going to draw 8 valence electrons. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we're going to draw 8 dots. What about argon? Argon lives in the same group here, so that's 8 electrons for argon, same for krypton and xenon. These are the noble gases, okay? And then we're gonna go left and subtract 1. We're gonna go left and subtract 1 every single time. So next, we have the halogens here. And what I mean by subtract 1 is we're gonna have these are the halogens, and then we're gonna say that these have 7. So for example, fluorine lives over here. Fluorine has 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Next, we're gonna have oxygen and sulfur. So I'm going to do oxygen and sulfur. And so oxygen and sulfur, we're going to subtract 1. So we're going to go 6 right here for oxygen and sulfur, 6. So oxygen is going to have 6 valence electrons. So I'm going to draw an oxygen. And then I have to draw 6 dots. So I'm going to represent one right here. Notice that I'm going top to bottom and then top down, side to side. And then I have 4 valence electrons, 5 and 6 that I'm going to place. And then next we have nitrogen, which is over here. I'm going to put a 5 over here for our group for nitrogen and phosphorus. So nitrogen has 5, so I'm going to do 1, 2, again, top to bottom, 3, 4, and then our 5th one up on top, okay? And then finally we have carbon and silicon, which is going to be 1 less than that, is 4. So we're going to do 1, 2, 3, and 4 for carbon. And last but not least, we have boron, which is going to be 1 less than that's going to be 3. So boron has 1, 2, 3. That's how you know how many valence electron each element has.